We just received shocking breaking news that Dayton Raiola, the younger brother of Dylan, three-star quarterback, has decommitted from Nebraska effective immediately out of the blue. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my instant reaction because there are a lot of rumors swirling why he made this decision. What does this mean for Dylan's future? Is he transferring away from Nebraska? What's true? What's not, and so much more. So really quick, this is a big time video, a lot of inside intel. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And also, we're getting so close to 15,000 subscribers, and for good reason. This is the only channel on YouTube that posts daily content, breaking news, talking Nebraska. If you want to stay informed with your favorite team, it's no brainer. Take 2 seconds, join the family, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, we have a lot to talk about. We just received shocking breaking news 2 weeks until signing day that Dayton Raiola has decommitted from Nebraska effective immediately. And there are a lot of concerns what this means, not only for him, but his brother Dylan. We'll talk about it as the video progresses. But starting things off with Dayton, I want to begin with the facts because there are a lot of rumors. Let's start with the facts. Number one, this was not a mutual parting. Okay, Matt Rhule did not say, Dayton, you can't be a part of this class anymore. Okay, we know that Matt Rhule loves Dayton Raiola. We know that a lot of the coaches, they love Dayton Raiola. They want him to be here. So it was not mutual. Dayton Raiola made this decision earlier this morning that he's no longer going to be a Nebraska Cornhusker. Number two, we know that this is completely shocking, not only to the fans, but to everybody involved. The coaches were not expecting this. Matt Rhule was not expecting this. Any positional coach, they were not expecting this. These recruiting insiders, nobody was expecting this. Okay, Dayton Raiola had a change of heart last second. Number three, we know that Matt Rhule actually visited Dayton Raiola last Friday, and we had a very good visit. He was watching him playing his high school football game. Dayton Raiola performed very well. Matt Rhule sitting with the entire Raiola family. He was chopping up with Dayton. Matt Rhule has visited him multiple times this year, where he could have been visiting any other player. He could have been visiting multiple commits, multiple targets. Matt Rhule has visited Dayton Raiola 3 or 4 times this season alone. He loves Dayton Raiola for whatever reason. Despite the stars not being very good, Matt Rhule feels like he needs to continue to show up at Buford to give him support. So again, it was not a coaching staff issue. It was not, oh, Matt Rhule said we're going to pull the plug. Dayton Raiola, for whatever reason, changed his mind. Let's talk about it. Now, there's a couple reasons why a player might decommit from a program in 2025. Number one is because of money. Well, that's definitely not the case. We can rule that out because he has plenty of money. His family has plenty of money. Dylan has plenty of money. Dayton was never concerned about the price tag. So let's get that out of the equation. Number two, it's because of the coaching staff, because he doesn't have a good relationship with the coaching staff. Well, that's not the case because he has a great relationship with Matt Rhule and all those guys. Number three, it's because of playing time. And that's been the big theory right now. Everybody's saying, well, maybe he just wants to go play elsewhere. He wants to go start because he's not going to play in Nebraska. Well, you make a good point. However, what changed? Because Trey Taylor has been committed to Nebraska for a very long time in the class of 27. We've already known that TJ Lateef is a very good quarterback. So I don't think it has anything to do with playing time, because Dayton never cared about the playing time. He committed to Nebraska knowing he was going to sit on the bench for a long time. He committed to Nebraska knowing that he was going to have to prove himself over the course of 3 to 4 years. He committed to Nebraska knowing he was going to have to redshirt. Okay, so he never committed to Nebraska because he thought he was going to get on the field within the first 1 to 2 years. You know, if he wanted to play immediately, he would have never committed to us. He would have went over to Charlotte. He would have went over to Appalachian State, his 2 other offers. The only reason he committed to Nebraska is because of Dylan. It's because of that family connection. And it's not only because of Dylan, it's because of his uncle Donovan. It also should be mentioned that if, for whatever reason, he had a change of heart, okay, I'm willing to entertain that. Let's say, for whatever reason, he had a change of heart. He says, I want to go play somewhere else, right? I want to go play somewhere else and play within my first 1 to 2 years. Where's he going to go? He's not going to go to a better program. He doesn't have any good offers. So why would he go from Nebraska to Appalachian State? He might go over there and play well, but again, it's a worse program. And also, again, this is 2 weeks until signing day. This is terrible timing. Okay, if you want to go to a different program, 2 weeks till signing day, there's just not much that can happen. He should have made the decision months ago if that were the case. So again, I don't think playing time has anything to do with this. This has to do with Dylan's future. This has to do with Donovan's future. And we'll talk about that in a second. But again, I want to talk about what this means for the quarterback class in particular for Nebraska and also Dayton Raiola. Nebraska has to be aggressive now in the class 26. We have to get a quarterback in this cycle. Not because Dayton was ever going to start here, not because Dayton's a massive loss, but because look at our quarterback room, specifically next year. Okay, you have Jalyn Gramstad, who's gone. You have Marcus Davila, who's going to transfer more likely than not. And then what do you have after that? You have Dylan, who might leave. You have TJ, who might leave. I mean, one of those guys is going to stay. And then your backup quarterback in this scenario is going to be Luke Longville. So you absolutely need to commit in this class, especially in the class 26. Again, it's going to be hard to get a quarterback transfer. You know, we feel good about Trey Taylor coming in, but he's not coming in next season. And again, we have no idea what's going to happen in the portal. We have no idea. So listen, Dayton Raiola, again, as for him specifically, I wish him the best of luck. I'll just be very honest with you. He was not Nebraska material. And I tried to tell you guys that in my past videos where Dayton, like the upside is there. He can throw the ball a mile, but if you watch his film, the accuracy is very suspect. The progressions are very suspect. Again, he's not the player his brother was, not even close. He's a low 3-star. His brother was a 5-star, right? His only other 2 offers are from very low schools, very group of 5 schools. Again, I don't think he was Nebraska material. The reason why we took him is because of the Raiola deep state, because Matt Rhule felt like he owed the Raiola family to take the brother of Dylan. And honestly, I blame Matt Rhule for that, because Matt Rhule punted on the entire class because of that. You know, he took Dayton Raiola over Jet Tamala, who's in our own backyard. And I'm not saying Jet Tamala is the best quarterback in the world. I told you guys I think Jet's a very high 3-star. Right now he's listed as like a top 10 quarterback in America coming out of Omaha. Like I don't think he's that, but he's a very good player. But the fact of the matter is Jet Tamala is committed to Alabama, and we didn't even offer that kid. And the entire family's disrespected, the entire Omaha community's disrespected, because you took Dayton, who's not even close to being as good, who doesn't even have close to the upside, and now Dayton's decommitted from the program, and you let Jet walk and go over to one of the best programs in America, to Alabama. That's a mistake. And that falls on Matt Rhule for mishandling the situation and letting his biases get involved just because he felt like he owed the Raiola family something. Again, the Raiola family, like I've told you guys, they have a lot of power in this university. That's just not good. And again, that was a huge reason. Again, there's a lot of biases, but we'll talk about that at another day. But let's get to Dylan. What this means for Dylan, because we've already cracked down the reason why Dayton decommitted, likely because of the future that's unknown around Dylan and his uncle Donovan. There are direct Dylan correlations. I know a lot of people are going to be going in the comment section. They'll say, Wilson, you're reaching here. This has nothing to do with Dylan. This was all Dayton's decision. You can't say that. You can't say that, because nobody knows that for a fact. And also, again, the only reason Dayton committed here in multiple interviews was because of his brother Dylan. He wanted to be with his brother Dylan. Okay. So that was the only reason he wanted to be here. What changed? Well, Dylan changed. So let's go back to the facts. We know that Dayton wanted to be with Dylan. That's a fact. We know that there have already been a lot of rumors about Dylan entering the portal. That's a fact. We know that there have already been rumors around Dylan Raiola grumbling at the fact that TJ Lateef starting. You know, TJ's getting a lot of praise. Again, I didn't want to mention this in video, but a lot of people asked me about this. We know that after Nebraska beat UCLA, Dylan Raiola never reposted anything on social media. Usually after a game, Dylan Raiola is very vocal on social media about the win or about the loss. And after Nebraska won, Dylan reposted nothing about the game. And there were a lot of people asking me, they were like, Wilson, does this mean Dayton's not a fan of TJ? And I'm like, it's best not to read into this, but I don't know, right? And we know that, and I just woke up, not too long ago, I received the news. I already got texts from people saying, what does this mean for Dylan? This might mean Dylan's gone, right? People who are at this university, right? Who do have connection with Dylan, who know Dylan personally. And we also know that when this happened, Dylan Raiola and Dayton Raiola both follow multiple Oregon accounts on Instagram. So those are the facts. Those are the facts behind the matter. Again, it is reasonable to believe that Dayton decommitting has serious Dylan ties. Okay, because if Dylan was here, you can't convince me that Dayton was ever going to leave. That makes no sense. But it tells me that Dylan's unhappy. It tells me that Dylan's thinking about going elsewhere. Because what do you think Dayton did last night? Dayton called up Dylan. He said, "Hey, am I making a good decision?" Do you really think Dylan would tell Dayton to do this if he wasn't going to be here, or if he was going to be here? No. So again, I don't want to say something crazy and say Dylan's going to leave, but I know that Dylan hasn't been too happy with TJ taking over. I know that again the TJ hype has been big, and there's a lot of fans who prefer TJ Lateef over Dylan, and I know that family connection is very strong. And again, there are people who say, well, maybe this means Donovan's gone. Maybe it does. I don't know. Donovan's been under a lot of pressure. I'll give Donovan credit. Like, the offensive line's gotten a lot better over these past 3 weeks. I think it has something to do with Dylan. Okay. So I know nothing for a fact. I want to make that very clear. I don't have an inside scoop here. Don't know if Dylan's entering the portal today. I don't know if Dylan's entering the portal. I already told you guys a couple weeks ago that if Dylan were to enter the portal, he's going to be a very highly paid quarterback. Okay. At the very minimum, he's going to get paid $3, $4, $5 million from a very big time program. Okay, he's going to be one of the most highly sought after transfers in the history of college football. And my question to you guys at the time is, why would Dylan ever leave Nebraska? Well, excuse me, why would Dylan stay at Nebraska to go through a quarterback battle that could ruin his career, or he could just enter the portal, get paid a lot, and be a bona fide starting quarterback for a top tier program? Why would he stay here? Okay, because it's looking like it's going to go that way. Or Matt Rhule probably doesn't want a quarterback battle. Like, he loves Dylan, but why would Dylan stick around for a quarterback battle in which if he were to lose, it would literally ruin his entire career? because he wouldn't start Nebraska. He wouldn't get as much love in the portal. He would be a senior when he entered the portal the next year. He wouldn't want to go through all that. And that would be kind of humiliating for somebody who was a former 5-star. And again, we should mention that the TJ hype is growing. And if TJ does what he does versus Penn State, if TJ does what he does versus Iowa, like TJ is going to be the starter here because the fan base will be way too loud. So you might think that Dylan's this big leader, which he is. And I'm not trying to discredit Dylan. He's a great leader. He's a great dude. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts. But from a business standpoint, why would Dylan stay here in question and whether or not he's going to start? Or he could go to Oregon, or he could go to Miami, or he could go to Georgia, or he could go to Alabama. You know what I mean? I don't know. Again, that's all speculation. But it's not speculation that Dayton Raiola just decommitted out of the blue. 2 weeks before sign day. That had nothing to do with money, nothing to do with the coaching staff. We know that Matt Rhule literally just visited him. Had nothing to do with playing time, never cared about the playing time. The only reason he committed here was because of Dylan. Dylan's future has been uncertain for weeks now. This just confirms it. So does this mean Dylan's automatically gone? No, nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. But it definitely adds a wrench to everybody's plans. So it's something that we should absolutely watch very closely. Again, I received a text not too long ago from somebody who said it's confirmed Dylan's gone. Like, I literally woke up, I kid you not, like 50 texts this morning. I'm like, I thought something crazy happened. I thought Dylan Raiola entered the portal. Well, his brother, it was almost that. So again, I know you're going to hear a lot of rumors, but in my opinion, this is a major smoke signal that the Raiola tenure might be over in Nebraska. It might be. Okay. Or it might be nothing. You never know. It might be nothing. It might be Dayton just calling a shot. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to go in the comment section. We're not going to go on social media and say, well, this has nothing to do with Dylan. Like, nobody knows this. It's a very open situation. It's a very open situation. But you can reasonably infer that something's changed there. Something's changed. It's not a coaching staff, it's not money, it's not playing time. What is it? It's Dylan's future. We'll see what happens with both of the Raiola. So again, wish Dayton the best of luck. Again, he was never Nebraska material. I'll keep it real, but you know, again, I always thought his potential was through the roof. I told you guys that. I was not lying when I told you guys I thought he could be as good as his brother, but it's going to take a lot of time with him. And again, as for Dylan, we'll see, man. It's something we'll follow very closely. We'll follow very closely, to say the least. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Hey, if you made it far, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. Absolutely comment your thoughts. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of comments today. Some will agree. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of disagree. That's okay. Let me know your thoughts. As always, folks, it's going to be great to go on my roll, and I'll see you in the next one.